Well, welcome everybody to the online program for the Sunshine Coast Health Center up here in beautiful Powell River, BC. And we've been talking in this program about these expert therapists who work with this idea of that to overcome addiction you have to live a personally meaningful life. And all of them are slightly different. This week, we'll talk about Dr. James Crumbaugh. Now, Dr. Crumbaugh was one of the earliest fans of Dr. Viktor Frankl. In fact, Dr. Frankl wrote the foreword to Dr. Crumbaugh's book, which was a new way of approaching the treatment of alcoholism, based on obviously on the ideas of Frankl. Because you got to remember, Frankl said that addiction was a response to living a life that had little personal meaning. So Dr. Crumbaugh took this idea and made it much more sophisticated, and then actually applied it for people suffering from alcoholism. Now, according to Dr. Crumbaugh, this is a 5-stage process, at least as it was originally developed a couple of decades ago, 3 decades ago. So the first stage is you got to make a decision on how you are going to view life. So life could be either, look at, you're a machine. That's actually how he phrased it. So man is a machine. Sorry for the sexism. Man is a machine. Okay? So basically you're just you're a biological kind of person. Or you can think, well, you're a machine, but you're so much more than that. In other words, you have a mind and emotions and all of this kind of thing. And he said that's basically a choice. There's no real scientific evidence one way or the other. And in fact, lots of scientists think that you are a machine. Well, maybe not a machine mechanically, but a machine biologically. Okay, so you got to make this choice there. And if you think you're a machine, then sort of limits your life, right? And pretty much life would be boring, I think. But if you think that you are just so much more than a machine, then now we have some stuff to work with. Now we can actually deal with like meaning and purpose and things like that. Okay, so that's the first step. You got to make this choice. Second thing, you got to build some self-confidence. You actually have to figure out that you can in fact overcome the addiction. And as you all know, millions and millions of people have, so what makes you different than them, right? So you have to have this belief that you are quite capable of overcoming the addiction. And you're going to need the third thing he calls it creative thinking. And basically it's like you're going to need some perseverance to actually make it through, because you're going to have some bad days and stuff like that. And the fourth one he called encounter, and that basically means relationship with people. And this is a really key point for Crumbaugh, because he was quite convinced that we are relational beings. Our job is to connect with other people. Or as the way he phrased it is, I can only be a somebody if I'm getting that report from the feedback from other people, or actually he says another somebody. So I need this external person to give me feedback and everything, and that will then make me feel good. So if the only good thing about winning an Academy Award is because you're recognized by other people, right? It's no good being on the desert island and winning the Academy Award, because then it serves no purpose. No one can clap and pat you on the back, right? So you need this other person to make you feel like you're a person, you're important, your life is worthwhile, and you need that feedback coming in. So that's encounter. And 5, he calls de-reflection. And that term is borrowed from Viktor Frankl. And for Crumbaugh, what this basically means is you have to stop looking at your life as just, oh, geez, I'm a failure, and this was a disaster. Can't believe I'm such an idiot, all that kind of thing. And start looking at the positive parts, your strengths, your courage, your successes. So we're going to shift it away from this negative way you're thinking about yourself to this positive way. And according to Crumbaugh, this 5-step process is the key to overcoming alcoholism. And of course, we can translate that into drug addiction as well. Anyway, that's Dr. Crumbaugh's work, and he's pretty famous in the field. Made this very famous test called the Purpose in Life test, which has been around for like 3 decades and very much used in the addiction field. Anyway, so there's 4 people, 4 expert therapists, although one of them had 3. 4 expert therapists, all with a slightly different take on this, how to live a meaningful life because this was the solution to addiction. At any rate, we'll be back next week with another one.